A recent study conducted by the Seattle Metro Chamber of Commerce showed that just under 70% of all Seattleites have considered moving out of the area. Over the last couple of years, more and more people moved into Seattle than moved out. This is quite a bit of a different finding than many of our West Coast sister cities. In fact, citizens polled after COVID stated they were actually less likely to leave Seattle after COVID than they were in the years before. So, why do you think people are considering leaving Seattle? Do you think that Seattleites are kind of nuts for considering it so seriously and then not actually leaving?
Yes!
Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. What is up, guys? My name is Austin Robertson, and I am your favorite YouTubing Seattle area real estate broker. Today, we're going to deep dive into the reasons why 70% of the people living right here in Seattle have considered leaving it in the dust. So, start off, 35% of people polled stated that the cost of living was a major reason for thinking of bouncing out of Seattle. I actually have a video on the cost of living. You can click on it right here in the card above. Take a look at it. The cost of living in Seattle is wild, like literally crazy. Worldwide, Seattle actually ranks as the 45th most expensive city on the entire planet, and we rank 7th domestically in the United States. Cost of living takes into account several factors. Of course, housing is becoming a looming concern for so many folks. The average home in Seattle now costs you over $800,000. If you're looking in a higher end community, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath could be looking around $1 million. And it's not like rent is any better. It's certainly not getting any cheaper. Year over year, nationally, the price for rent increases has not been an easy pill to swallow. Rents across the United States have burst through the roof and went up 15%, making the average rent about $2,000. Of course, Seattle, on the other hand, we've got to stand out, so we've decided that we'd take it to 32%. Yeah, no clowning. The average rent in Seattle is now $3,097. And if you want to put that in perspective for you, the average minimum wage in Seattle is about $17.27, meaning a full-time worker at that rate would only make about $2,700 a month. So if you ran that math in your head like I just did, it's pretty easy to see that that's not affordable. While utilities and healthcare are cheaper than most areas of the country, items like transportation, where we rank around the bottom at, food for the family, and miscellaneous things like shopping are reasons why Seattle sits with a cost of living that is 72% above the national average. Okay, so here's my 2 cents. There are plenty of ways to make things a little more affordable. Drive a little further into the city and you can drastically reduce the cost of your home or your rent. Shop smart for your food and you can literally save thousands of dollars a month. I mean, eat out when it's fun, but skip silly stuff like the drive-thru at McDonald's. There are so many incredible restaurants in Seattle anyways, there really is no reason to waste your time on junky fast food. Little tips like this will make living in the Seattle area a lot more affordable. Now, 29% of the people polled say that public safety and crime was one of the reasons why they had considered making a move out of Seattle. People just want to feel safe where they live. You want to have peace when you step outside of your home, and right now, honestly, a lot of Seattleites are just not feeling that security. Some could say this feeling is worse since Seattle elected to defund the police department just a couple of years ago. While the city did have intentions of cutting the police budget by 50%, in all reality, it's only cut the budget by about 17%, but honestly, that ripple has caused some huge waves. And not to mention that city councils made some petty attempts at sticking it to the police department, like, removing parking enforcement from PD and trying to give it to the roads department. Funny thing about this is this actually caused the refunding of over 100,000 parking tickets. Because the roads department, they're not law enforcement officers, and therefore they can't write you a ticket. So that should tell you how things have kind of been going. Basically, the department has been in a tailspin ever since. We have seen over 400 police officers pack their bags and leave the city while crime keeps soaring. Violent crime, which is a category for the police department that includes things like rape, murder, robbery, aggravated assault, and other things along those lines, has risen 20% in just the last year, according to Seattle PD. So, according to the crime index, the safest cities in America are rated as 100. Can you guess what number Seattle ranks as? Leave your guess in the comments down below. So Austin, what do you have to say about that? Well, bad shit happens everywhere, man. I'm a retired firefighter EMT, and I have seen awful things in small and large towns. Here's what I suggest. If you're looking to move to Seattle, pick a suburb that ranks highly in safety, but also within your desired drive time. If you're looking about an hour, places like Bonney Lake or Puyallup might be favorite areas south. If you're looking more north or east, someplace like Woodinville, which is becoming increasingly more popular, might fit your needs. If you're dying to stay into the city, look for a safe neighborhood like south of the university or Magnolia. Those places will be key for you. 12% stated that the homeless problem was one of their main concerns as to why they've considered leaving Seattle. Guys, I've got to agree wholeheartedly here. Some people are annoyed by the homeless, they kind of view them as pests. And there are people that are more like myself that just kind of feel like the city's not doing a really good job with the situation. They're managing it poorly and they're not really addressing mental health, drugs, and other issues. Now, I do feel like Seattle's done an excellent job cleaning up large portions of the homeless camps. It wasn't even a year ago that you couldn't walk by Pioneer Square and the whole thing be completely taken over by a homeless encampment. People were literally shooting up in the streets. At one point, I was driving and dodging bodies of people that were passed out, laying in the middle of the road. Today, none of that's present. I just walked with my wife and daughters all over the area just a couple weekends ago. And interestingly enough, there are only about 12% of residents in Seattle who want to see the sweeps stop. The rest of our city is looking to get the camps removed. As a large part of last year's budget, the City of Seattle established the Homelessness Outreach and Provider Ecosystem, or the HOPE team for short. They're connecting those in need to shelter providers, city departments, and community to help our unsheltered homeless receive the outreach, care, and connections to the shelter that they actually need. Secondarily, then, to provide a path to full-time stable housing, and there should be around 350 shelter resources coming online within this next year. Lastly, 9% of people polled stated that the government and politics were the main reason they considered leaving. I don't know if you like it or hate it, but Seattle favors progressive policies. In the last presidential election, 75% of the voters in King County voted Democratic. But this really isn't what people are referring to when they talk about politics being an issue. They're referring to the way we handle our issues, like the homelessness, drugs, police departments, and other things that are facing our city on a regular basis. If you're looking to make a move and you're feeling a little more on the conservative side, I suggest counties that are around Seattle, like Lewis County, Kitsap County, Pierce County, and Skagit County. Those might better suit your political beliefs. Now, taking this all into account, like I said earlier, Seattle's actually seen more people come into the city than leave in the recent years. Living inside the city isn't for everyone. I know for my family, the suburbs were a much better option. If you're considering making a move to the area, let's connect. Let's go! I'd love to help you find an area that is right for your family. My information is right there in the description box below. Feel free to reach out to me. Until next time, guys, I'm Austin Roberts.